Burundi's president calls for stoning of gay couples amid global LGBTQ plus rights debate. The president of Burundi, Evariste, has openly called for the persecution of gay couples. I don't understand why he would have to go that far. I don't know why. Let me just put this out there. When it comes to this same-sex thing in Africa, I know it's a very touchy subject. I know it's a very, very um, emotional one and sensitive subject. It seems like religion. These subjects are very sensitive to Africans and in Africa. But I just want to say this, right? You don't have to agree with everything everyone does. You don't have to agree with. I have friends whom I disagree with some things they do, some lifestyles they live. I have. But I don't go hating them. I don't go persecuting them. I don't go calling for them to be stoned. How can you be a leader and then calling for people in your country to be stoned by others if they engages in things you find uncomfortable? How can you even do that? You know, it's one thing to pass a draconian law against LGBTQ people, like in Uganda. And it's another thing for you to go on air and encourage people to harm each other because they don't like what you do. And know this, because he said it, a lot of people will listen and will react to it. And I know when that happens, the policemen will cover it up. The policemen will cover it up. There will be a lot of violence in Burundi as a result of what this leader said. He calls himself a leader, and all he does is divide the people. This is how some people in Africa think. They think that the only way they can show strength, the only way they can show how powerful they are, the only way they can prove to others that they are more powerful is to say things that cause a lot of chaos and division in society. That is all what they think they can do, just to portray themselves as powerful people. But let's continue with the article. Burundi President Evariste recently launched a virulent tirade against same-sex marriage, denouncing it as an abominable practice and advocating for the stoning of gay couples, citing religious reasons. The president, known for his conservative Christian views, previously called for homosexuals to be banished and treated as outcasts. He criticized Western countries opposing LGBTQ rights and defiantly rejected aid from those advocating such practices, urging individuals embracing those beliefs to stay abroad. This strong stand is in line with the conservative Christian values prevalent in the Great Lakes country, where same-sex relationships are punishable by imprisonment. This statement comes in reaction as the global discourse on LGBTQ plus rights has seen some notable developments, such as Pope Francis' declaration on December 18 regarding the blessing of homosexuals couple. While this marks a symbolic shift in the Catholic Church stance, it's essential to note that the Church maintained a clear distinction between homosexual and homosexual marriages. So I don't care what the president's motive might have been. It's really of no consequence. My only problem is when people go out there and call for violence against one another, which I think is totally not a great thing to be doing, especially when you are a leader of a country. Telling people to treat others as outcasts, is that really a Christian thing? Asking people to stone one another, calling for violence against other human beings, is that a Christian thing? Now, he will call himself, or he will portray himself as a conservative Christian. But saying those things, does that really make you a Christian? Can someone really, really stand here and say in all honesty that God in heaven will feel proud when you say things like this, when you call for violence against other people? What happened to judgment belonging only to God? What happened to do not judge others so that your Father in heaven may not judge you? What happened to love those that hurt you, those that hate you? What happened to love your neighbor like yourself? What happened to all these core Christian principles? What happened to them? Christians have now become one of the most hating set of people you can ever find around the world. They are Christians and they pray day in, day out. They have decided to pick and choose which thing the Bible say they will follow and which things the Bible say they will discard. These are modern day Christians for you. But enough of that. Let's move on to our next story for the day. Victims of the rebel attack in Gatumba buried amidst tears. Yeah, the victims who were attacked by rebels in this area of Gatumba were buried, and people really came out. Emotions ran high on Tuesday as 19 people killed in an attack last Friday in Gatumba, Motimbozo Commune, Bujumbura Province, on the Burundi-Congolese border were laid to rest. In the presence of the authorities, including the Minister of the Interior, Community Development and Public Security, deputies and senators, and the victims' families, coffins containing the bodies of the victims arrived at the Gatumba Catholic Parish in military and police vehicles. A final tribute was paid. A large crowd had come to bid farewell to their parents, children, and wives who had been killed by gunmen on the night of December 22nd, 2023, jostling to see the bodies of their deceased loved ones. Many could not hold back their fears. Afterward, a requiem mass was held under the aegis of Monsignor Anatolu, who stressed that killing people is by no means a solution to problems. Only dialogue can resolve conflict. In any conflict, the answer is not to share blood or take up arms. Killing is not a solution to problems. On the contrary, killers reap the curse. The prelate told the congregants, the mass, yeah, this is a very sad thing to have happened in Burundi. It's never a good thing to see people lost their lives in such manner. Life is very precious, and to see people lose it in such a way is really, really sad. We will hope that the government find a lasting solution to this problem. And our sincere condolences to the bereaved families.